way behind you perhaps. It's going to be just a minute before I can get back on here. I can't see what you're typing right at this moment. I don't know what the story is, because it's supposed to be on. This mic is supposed to be blaring. Well,
are we still struggling with the sound?
Yes, it was set to the wrong mic, and it's going to be a moment.
I've got my computer expert on the job, Sikus. Whoa, much better. Yeah, perfect. There we go. So the lizard story. I mean, it was really quite sad. The thought of your just one second. I'm getting a lot of messages that there's no sound coming from you at all, which is odd. Can anyone? Oh, I'll tell you what's happened. I think when you changed your microphone, I think you upset the program. I think you're going to have to refresh. So if I remove you from co-host, refresh your page, and as soon as you've done that, I'll invite you back. As I said at the beginning, sorry, I'm not talking to you at the moment, Aaron. As I said at the beginning, we did all we could to iron out these sort of problems, but I just knew that there were going to be technical problems. Just bear with us, and we'll do what we can to sort them out. Unfortunately, my computer expert is about 3,500 miles away, which means that he's not actually behind me. I'm on my own with a couple of average computers doing the best I can, so I apologise for the inconvenience, but I'm sure we'll have Aaron back very soon. He's just refreshing his page. Okay. We'll try and invite him back on. He says he's back, so let's see if this works a bit better.
All right, now can you hear me now? Anybody got sound?
Yep,
all
everyone's
right.
got sound.
Perfect.
Now, before, I don't think people were able to hear what we were saying before. They probably heard my half of it. But I was talking about the lizard, and you were explaining about it. Perhaps you want to pick up where you left off, so to speak.
Yeah.
When the police shot it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, when the police shot the lizard and they hit it with a .410 shotgun from 35 feet up in a tree, he comes down and his pelvis is blown in half. His tail's still on, his back legs are still on, but they don't work. and he's running around on his front legs. Now, I was 22 years old. I think 24 maybe. I'm standing in the backyard with no shirt on, and I've got my lizard, and he's bleeding like a sieve, and I've got TV cameras all around me. And I remember this was such an outrageous travesty that I needed some way of expressing how ridiculous this was. Why did it take, dozens of police officers and guns for a lizard? So, you know the old story about, an injured animal is 10 times more dangerous, right? So I grabbed my injured animal and I kissed him on the mouth in front of, 3 or 4 cameras. And got blood all over me. And I thought that was the best way to demonstrate exactly the literal term of overkill this was. It was absurd. And then, I didn't say this in the 5 Facts video, but they took the lizard, and remember they're threatening to arrest me just for having it. They took the lizard and then they folded it in half and put it in a milk crate and rushed it to a veterinarian where they injected it with potassium cyanide and put it in a freezer. I'm surprised they didn't chain it closed. The level of fear was insane.
To be fair though, Aaron, you did say at the beginning of that account in your video that I know this wasn't a fully grown one, but they do have the potential to actually eat small children, I think is actually the words you used. And yeah. I know this was, if I remember correctly, let's see how good my memory is, 39 inches long.
I think it was 41.
So it wasn't fully... Okay, there you go.
Yeah. It would have been longer, but they didn't have the Extensi drink they were advertising on Love Chat.
We'll go there in a moment. Don't go there now. What I also don't understand is how it escaped. Did it actually get...
The back door was made out of aluminum.
And it with its own strength, it
grabbed the
tore it
corner
apart
and pulled it open.
Wow.
It had arms like fucking Popeye. I mean...
I'm surprised a 410 did the job then.
Well, I underestimated this thing several times. I mean, I put it in the bathtub at one point, and it got out of the bathtub and then peeled off the heater vents for the heater system underneath the floor. It pulled off the vent and went down into the furnace. So I had to go down in the basement and start knocking on all the pipes to find out where I needed to disassemble the heating system to find the lizard. Don't ever have one. They're a lot of trouble.
I'm sorry.
An emu is a lot easier to keep.
Is it just me, or I mean, I know it has a sad ending, but is this story just too funny?
Varanus salvadori. Somebody asked me what kind of lizard it is. It's a Varanus salvadori, a Malaysian water monitor, the 2nd largest species in the world. Not quite a Komodo dragon, but close enough.
And I'm sorry. Oh dear. Deep breath.
Go ahead.
It's just too funny. The Bigfoot story. I imagine.
But yeah,
just a matter of interest. How tall are you?
Everybody thinks I'm taller than I am. I am actually 6 feet tall. Everybody I know thinks I'm 6'2". I don't know how I pull that off, but I'm 6 foot even.
You are built like a tank, though. Let's face it.
Yeah, well, we won't go there either.
All right. Okay.
Somebody said the hair adds 2 inches. You should have seen me in the 80s. If you think I'm tall now, because my hair.
What happened what was going on in the 80s?
I used to like to do weird things with my hair. It was the 80s, so sometimes I did the
You didn't go afro.
The Motley Crue thing, I had hair like that at one point.
You didn't go afro.
No.
Afro Aaron.
I did the weird mohawk thing, and I had to. We went to someplace in Mexico, and in order for me to get there, I had to sit on the floorboards, turned sideways, because my hair wouldn't fit in the car.
I can't deal with this anymore. Please, members, whoever's watching, ask Aaron a question, because this is just too much for me.
Now, somebody's asking for photos, and that is a sad story. At about the same time that I lost my lizard, I'm afraid I lost all my photo albums. There are very few pictures of me prior to '88. They're almost all gone. Yeah.
There is one final question I will
What's
ask
that?
you before I hand you over to the audience. Totally. You made a statement in that video that I think the words you used were, was it Idaho you were in at the time?
It was in Iowa.
You said,
Idaho would have been
you
a
said,
lot better.
I don't fit into a crowd very well. Do you have any understanding why that might be?